What is going on, Falafel Embryo? We are here through 10 weeks of fantasy football. It's been brutal, for me at least. Not just as terrible as I've done in Falafel. I'm in 12 leagues this year, and, you know, I think that's too much. It's too much for me, at least. I'm going to definitely have to dial it back a little bit. But I'm doing much better in those leagues than I am in Falafel, so no complaints. It's been fun, like always. 3 weeks left to go in the regular season. 3 weeks left to go for the fantasy playoffs. So we got 6 weeks left of fantasy football, and time to make a move. I know I've been probably saying that for the last 6 weeks, but now it's for real. Now it actually means something. I'm not just talking out of my ass, which I guess I am still. I tend to do that, but yeah. I want to let you guys know this will be the last week that I am doing awards. So no more awards after this week. I will still be doing weekly videos, but they will be playoff based, looking at scenarios and games coming up that week that are going to affect playoff seedings and standings and all that kind of fun stuff. Relegation obviously will be an important topic and all kinds of that, all of that. So yeah, last week of awards. So let's get started and start giving them out. High as a kite. This one goes to Dead Duck with 130.3 points. I think this might be his first time winning this award, but I could be wrong. Of course, he has Zeke on his lineup with 40 points. That helps, but he also has Rodgers and Rashard Matthews, and then Dan Bailey also has 16 points from your kicker. That's very nice. So good game all around for him. Sloppiest girl in the bar goes to CB with 71.1 points. Amazingly enough, there was actually a battle for this award this week. Evan comes in with a 71.2. He wanted this one bad, but unfortunately does not win this one. So close, so close. Who let you win? This one goes to JJ Knight with this 48.5 point win over CB. 7.3 points or less from 7 of CB's 9 starters will probably land you in one of those two categories every single time. So not surprised to find you here with that week. The baddest bench goes to S. Ramir with 60.3 bench points, almost 30 from Big Ben, and then solid games from James Starks and Zach Ertz, but all of these points are going to waste this week. Not supposed to be here today. This one goes to Mr. Me Seeks with his narrow win over Caveman. This was the only lower seed to beat a team that was higher seeded than them, and it prevented a 5-team pileup at 7-3, which is pretty crazy that there's 4 of you there to top the standings, but to have 5 of you there, that would have been even more nuts. So yeah, that was a good one, which leads us to crabs are tighter than a crab's vagina. Mr. Me Seeks 4-point win over Caveman. Very close game, and which leads us into the next trophy. Milk was a bad choice. Caveman, had you started Dak Prescott over Tom Brady, which seems like an obvious choice, you would have won this week, and you would have, in fact, been at 7-3. So there was that. And then Nick Tarr, had you started Ryan Matthews, your boy, over any of the 3 running backs that you actually did start, you would have won your matchup as well. That leads us to fucking Chuck Norris award. This goes to S. Ramir with 115.2 points. Would have beat out 6 of your opponents, but on the wrong side of the matchup this week, do not get the win. So we go forward into our Week 11 matchups. We've got the game in the week. 7-3 Go Pack Go versus 7-3 Bench Warmer. But for me, I think this is 2-8 Fantasy Insider versus 2-8 Nick Tarr, with all the stakes that are on the line here, with relegation out of Falafel Embryo and out of the Falafel relegation system altogether. That is an important matchup to fall one complete game out of, or into last place. So that's my game of the week. Then we've got 7-3 Darth Paikai and DJ M versus 6-4 Caveman, also a very good game. And then for the rest of you, we've got 7-3 JJ Knight versus 4-6 Evan, 5-5 Dead Duck versus 5-5 CB, and 5-5 Mr. Me Seeks versus 3-7 S. Ramir. So 6 weeks left in the season for those of you facing relegation. That is important. 3 weeks left in the regular season for those of you fighting for playoff seeding and then the fantasy playoffs. So let's get it, guys. I will see you guys next week. Later.